Yep.
All right, let's start with Dynamite.
All right, so we're gonna go through the card. This is Dynamite, AW Dynamite. So we had a Ring of Honor Women's Championship match. Diana Praso went against Mercedes Martinez, and an Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament qualifier. Rey Fenix, Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament qualifier. Another one. Jeff Hardy went against Bobby Fish. Grudge match between Santana and Ortiz at his side and Chris Jericho. Blackpool Combat Club win against the Butcher, the Blade, and Angelico. Then
Mm-hmm.
MJF's mystery opponent went against Wardlow.
Mm-hmm.
And the latest in the Varsity Blondes feud with House of Black. So Varsity Blondes had uh, a segment with the House of Black, and then also Adam Page had a promo. So we're gonna start off with what happens first, and that was the Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament qualifier: Jeff Hardy versus Bobby Fish. Jeff Hardy got the win. What do you think about this?
What I think about this, Jeff Hardy definitely needed a win because he's more in the tag team division, and Bobby Fish is more of a tag team expert. I still have mid card. Jeff Hardy's already a main eventer, but it will most likely face Darby Allin in that tournament. He'll probably put over Darby Allin in the tournament.
Yeah. So I think the same thing. I think Jeff Hardy is a main is a main eventer, but obviously there was a noticeable decrease in skill in his part. He's obviously not as fast as he once was. He's older, and as I said before in this podcast, um, time is a thing. Age is a thing, and it
Mm-hmm.
looks like it caught up with Jeff Hardy. And Bobby Fish is good too. He's good. He made sure to make Jeff Hardy look strong in this defeat, and that's what it was needed in this match. And obviously Jeff Hardy, um, considering in this tournament is probably a good decision, but we can't expect much from Jeff Hardy. And it's good that they're doing the Darby Allin versus Jeff Hardy now because maybe later he won't be able to do it, or people will grow, tired of watching a, one-legged Jeff Hardy basically.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Jeff Hardy advances there, and we could pass to the next match, which was Blackpool Combat Club going against Butcher, Blade, and a returning Angelico to AEW Dynamite. What do you think about this match?
The match was amazing. The Blackpool Combat Club was really good. They were really good. They looked really good. They dominated. They won the match. They kicked ass. They did mention about Wheeler Utah being the Super Juniors.
Yes,
Yeah, and it was pretty good.
and that
Blackpool Combat Club got the victory, and it's mostly leading to the Blackpool Combat Club, like Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley versus the AEW Tag Team Champions, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
that's probably gonna happen, but I mean, this is trios action, so I don't know if that adds it to their record, or if it does, it doesn't really make sense. But I mean, this was a good little match. Blackpool Combat Club. This is, I think, the third week in a row that Blackpool Combat Club, you know, does a trios match in the second, match of the night, and that's cool or whatever. But it doesn't seem to get anywhere other than like to add wins to their record, which is fine, But when you have Bryan Danielson, when you have Jon Moxley, you gotta use them in a prominent position. And this isn't really a prominent position. I think having them go against the actual tag teams, not in a trios action, but actual tag teams, so that they, in person tag team competitions would be better. But obviously, it was a good little match. Blackpool Combat Club won as they should have, and that's about it. I mean, that was the one, the one result that it could have had.
Yeah.
All right, so the next one was Wardlow versus the MGF's mystery opponent, which was later revealed as the person that we expected, W. Morrissey from Impact Wrestling. And Wardlow got the win on this one. What do you think about it?
I think it was good. It got Warlord very over. William W. Morrison was pretty good in that match. He was like a giant, and he's supposed to be like a monster, like almost 7 feet tall. Supposed to like a wrestle like a monster. That's how Kevin Nash does. Like power move from Nash, like tactics, power slam, being slammed onto a table, etc. That's what giants do.
Well, I mean, I think he's more of a modern giant. No, he's a more like he can move and everything. I think this guy is different from like your typical giants, like I think Kevin Nash. But yeah, Wardlow got the win. It was as expected. W. Morrissey did impress. You could tell that a lot of people, didn't expect that out of W. Morrissey, and this was probably good um, for his, stock and Impact Wrestling. And once he hits free agency, I'm sure WWE will come looking for him or somebody. He'll have a job for sure. I think now that he was, you know, in this match in national television. But yeah, Wardlow won with one power bomb, which is cool too. And now after the match, MJF told Wardlow that they'll have a contract signing next week in Long Island. So hopefully, you know, that's all good and everything. I think probably there's one match left for Wardlow to go before going against MJF, and that's probably going against Shawn Spears, and then going against MJF. So there's a good story and good build, decent match. Wardlow should have gotten the win, and he did.
Yeah.
All right. So if that's it for that match, we're gonna continue to the next thing that happened, which was Hangman Adam Page cutting a promo, and it was a different promo from what he usually cuts. What do you think about this?
The promo was good. The promo was good. It told Hangman that Hangman doesn't care about CM Punk's tribute to Bret Hart, and he's gonna do what it takes to retain the AEW World Title, and that match is gonna be quite sweet. And actually, that time match makes sense on a Double or Nothing card.
Yeah, obviously it's a big one of the bigger matches they could have. CM Punk do, especially for the AEW World Championship. It's gonna be huge, And just to quote, Heyman Page, this was a different version of Heyman Page, just a little bit more grittier, maybe even heelish version of Heyman Page. And he said, at Double or Nothing, there's not going to be a masturbatory Bret Hart tribute match. I'm going to destroy CM Punk, Page said. And then he also said, you said you wanted to fight, and Punk, it will be a fight of your life. So this is going to, be a very serious feud and everything. I think that Adam Page isn't going to be the one turning heel. I think CM Punk is probably going to respond to Adam Page in a more heelish manner. And because I think what makes me think that was him and Page pointing out a person in the crowd having a CM Punk shirt and telling them that 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 you won't be able to that you won't be able to you won't want to wear those shirts anymore once he's done with him or with CM Punk. And I think that's because CM Punk is going to turn heel, and he's probably going to be a good heel, a great heel, and have people really turn on CM Punk for, turning on their one true babyface, which is still Hangman Page. So that's going to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next match is going to be Santana versus, or the next match was Santana versus Chris Jericho. What do you think about this one?
It was a pretty good match. Santana showed more like edge into him when he's trying to get at Jericho. Mostly Jericho mostly beat the hell out of Santana. Jericho versus Santana won.
Yeah, so didn't Chris Jericho win this match?
Yeah, I'm getting a little drifty a bit, but I'm good. Yeah, Jericho did win.
So I think Chris Jericho won this match through cheating, and it was a match. Obviously, a Chris Jericho match isn't going to be a good, a great match or whatever, but it was what it was needed to be, and and it was a match on Dynamite, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, so next was the segment with the Varsity Blondes calling out the House of Black,
Uh-huh.
and and the weird sequence with Julia Hart. What do you think about that?
It was quite weird, but it makes sense. Like Julius Hart is turning heel.
Do you think so?
Yeah, soon.
I, I think, if anything, I think this showed us that maybe Julia Hart isn't turning heel because she didn't end up, swinging that chair on Griff Garrison. If anything, this is probably going to lead to the House of Black, kind of, you know, trying to, infiltrate the Varsity Blondes and Julia Hart specifically, and trying to take her from Varsity Blondes or whatever. But yeah, I don't think she's turning heel. I think something is going on. I don't think it necessarily she's going to turn heel. I mean, look at her. She doesn't really She doesn't look like a person that could be a heel. I don't think I wouldn't believe that she's a heel. She's a pure babyface right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after that sequence, that weird sequence, we had a Dante Martin versus Rey Fenix match, and it was unbelievable. What do you think about it?
It was a good match. It was straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Dante fought like Rey Fenix defeated Dante Martin in the match, and that's why Rey Fenix qualified for the Owen Cup. But it was a really good match. I did hear from Samoa Joe that the AEW should have like an X division for their talent for their talent, like Dante Martin and Rey Fenix.
Samoa Joe said that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if it keeps them away from the World Heavyweight Championship, but I mean, I don't know. I think some of them are, dignified, world champions in the future. But like Rey Fenix, I think might be. But in terms of this match, I think it was a high spot match. I mean, it wasn't really much of a match. It was just, a collection of moves or whatever. Which, obviously that's what you're gonna expect from Rey Fenix and Dante Martin.
Yeah.
They're high flyers, and Rey Fenix is a luchador style, wrestler. So, and I think the right person got the win. Rey Fenix is gonna continue and probably, deliver good matches as well. So that's good, and it was in my taste and everything, but I can't get all of them.
Uh-huh.
All right, so the main event, or before the main event, it was a promo between Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. What do you think about this promo before the main event?
The promo was well fit for Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa. It was basically building toward that match at double or nothing for the women's world title, and it will be a bar burner with Thunder Rosa and Serena Deeb. They had a previous counter for the NWA Women's World Title before, and I feel like I thought that Serena Deeb beat her for that title. So I'm thinking this is gonna be like I think Thunder Rosa is gonna get that win at double nothing because remember Deeb beating her before for the NWA Women's World Title before. That's what I remember, and Thunder Rosa never did beat her.
Right. Yeah. And it's the first defense that Thunder Rosa is gonna have, other than Nyla Rose, but the first pay-per-view defense. So
yeah,
we could assume that she is gonna, win that match. But in terms of this promo, I think it wasn't all that great. I think once they kind of were out there, it was 15 minutes until the end, until 9, or until 10, whatever you were, and they kind of dragged it out to kind of like cut minutes from a main event, and at the end I think it wasn't a really great promo from either girl. I mean, Thunder Rosa was trying to interject a lot of things once Serena Deeb was talking, and it didn't really come out too great. But I mean, I don't know what you're gonna expect from these two. I don't think it was a good idea to bring them out there. to promote that match at that moment in time. Maybe in the dynamite and cutting down from somewhere,
Yeah.
but you could have given those minutes to the women's match, the main event. That was a world championship, undisputed championship match. So it should have been important and only got like 9 minutes. So yeah, I think it wasn't good. That I could say just wasn't good.
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't a good segment anyway.
Yeah. So and then the main event, as I previously mentioned, was undisputed Ring of Honor Women's Championship match.
Yeah, it was Ring
Bianca
of Honor
Peraza.
Women's World Title.
What did I say?
Yeah, you did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, undisputed Ring of Honor Women's Championship match, and it was Diana Peraza versus Mercedes Martinez.
Yeah.
Mercedes Martinez got the win. What do you think about this match?
The match was actually pretty good. But it was a bit bad. Like, didn't get enough time for the main event. But in the end, I did like that Mercedes Martinez wins the title because the other person signed Impact, and Tony Khan want all the signed wrestlers to hold the Ring of Honor titles.
Yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, yeah. Then you get into politics and everything, and obviously that's not a good side of wrestling. But we gotta recognize that is something that exists in AEW. That not everything is dandelions or rainbows in AEW, But I think it was a decent match for what it was given. Obviously, a 9-minute match isn't gonna be a barn burner or whatever. But Diana Peraza was a great women's champion, a great wrestler. Um, and she showed it. Obviously, the crowd wasn't really into it. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't really into it, and I'm not really into a Mercedes Martinez champion. If anything, I would have been into more of a Diana Peraza champion, but obviously politics played a part in that,
Yeah.
and I'm not into this Mercedes Martinez title run, but hopefully she puts over some other young talent soon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think that's it for AEW Dynamite.
Let's review Rampage because today was Rampage I watched. So, ready to review Rampage?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first 4 matches, there was like Riho versus. Oh, you got it. All right. Oh wait, let me know if you responds. Mm-hmm.
So you said AEW Rampage.
Yes, Rampage.
As in like Rampage, like the one that we haven't watched yet.
That was what that happened today, Friday. Hey, it aired at 5:30 p.m.
Oh shit, it did, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're right. I forgot there was a time.
Yeah.
Time change. Yeah. So
Yeah.
so what happened? I didn't watch it. What happened? What happened? I guess the time change really does matter because I thought it was gonna be at the regular time.
Yeah. Well, it was basically Lethal versus. Send me the match. Read me the matches for the mostly 4 matches. Just go to the results and read the 4 matches for me.
Yeah. So I got you. Let me just type it up real quick. Your Rampage.
Yeah.
AEW Rampage results. I got you.
All right.
I got it.
Don't worry, people. We're gonna hit in a minute. It's only a bit.
Yeah. So the first match was Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter versus Tony Storm and Ruby Soho. Here,
this was a great tag team match. So basically, it was a good tag team match. It was a little showcase of Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm, and Ruby Soho. But in the end of that match, Ruby Soho, Tony Storm got the victory for their team. And it's basically and basically both of that match, they announced that it was going to be Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter next Wednesday for Dynamite for the first ever women's Owen Hart Cup. Yeah.
Yeah, and that seems to be a good matchup. Has been building.
Yeah.
Or at least been doing stuff with them, and I'm sure it was a decent match. I didn't watch it obviously, but I'm sure it was decent.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next match was Hook versus JD Drake.
It
From
was
the
just a
wingman.
Hook match. It was a short match. Hook won with the red rum. Mostly in the match, Hook was showing his skills by destroying JD Drake. He was he was Hook was dominating JD Drake and finished him out with the red rum for the victory. And then after the match, we had it was basically Dan Hansen confronting Hook, and then Hansen wanted to give him a gift, and Hook like stomped the gift, and Hansen walked away. Then Hook grabbed the gift, looked at it, and put it on the ring, and walked out as well with things saw hitting her, hitting very much.
And before that, I'm reading here because I didn't watch it, obviously. But
before that, there was a promo from Tony Nese and Mark Sterling, right?
No, I was gonna mention how Danhausen asked Hook that to be in his corner once he goes against Tony Nese. So I guess it's confirmed that Danhausen is gonna have his first match not against Hook as we initially thought is gonna be against Tony Nese. And I suppose Hook isn't going to be in his corner, but maybe he is. Maybe at the end he does come to the rescue or something like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the next match was another Owen Hart Foundation tournament women's qualifier match, and that was Yuka Sakazaki in her return against Rio, and her return as well, I guess, because they're both Japanese and they're not used that much, you know. So
yeah, it was a good like Joshi kind of match. Like Rio got the victory, but it was a great match. We saw a lot of match from Yuka Sakazaki and Samoa's for Riho. It was basically like a Joshi match type of match.
Yeah, Yoshi, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Riho got the victory. Riho advances. And after the match, they talk about the women's Hard Cup that is now complete with a Joker. So basically, there's going to be a Joker for the women's and the men's.
And who do you think is going to be? I have my my reservations, my thoughts about it. But who do you think it might be? These Jokers from both tournaments.
All right, for the women, I'm gonna try. I'm going Athena, formerly Ember Moon, and for the men, I'm seeing Cesaro, or Claudio wants me or he's called.
I think it's a lot more simple than that. I think having one Joker in the women's tournament and another Joker in the men's tournament is quite outright gonna be the Garganos, Candice LeRae, and Johnny Gargano. And I think people have fantasy booked on Twitter saying that Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole would be a great matchup at Double or Nothing, and I would tend to agree, obviously. But yes, that's who I think is gonna be. I think Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I think this is the last match I didn't watch for the for the fifth time. I didn't watch, but okay, it was Konosuke Takeshita versus Jay Lethal in Takeshita's first television match. What do you think about this?
It was a pretty good match. It showcased Takeshita's skills. Like Takeshita was about to win. It was 1, 2, 3 total. Like people like it was interference from Satam Singh and Sanjay Dutt. Then Jay Lethal hit the lethal injection for the victory. And after the match, we had a brawl from Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt, and Satam Singh. We had the best friends coming to the aid. Then getting destroyed, you got Orange Cassidy. Then they brought in Samoa Joe, basically to close the show, like chasing him with a pipe.
Damn, it sounds like I missed a lot, but yeah, I'm sure it was a good match. That's about it. I don't know what else to say about this match other than I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for AW Rampage. If we wanna talk about some other topics, if there are any topics that we want to talk about.
Yeah, let's talk about the topics.
Okay, so we said we were gonna talk about the sellout that AW did for Forbidden Door, as we said on Thursday. I think it was that the pre-sale went out, and there was definitely a high demand for this show. I mean, obviously it was going to be. Obviously, Chicago is a very smart town.
Yeah,
This show for smart people, but that's great. I mean, they sold it out,
Yeah, they
Yeah,
pretty much sold it out.
yeah. I mean, I think they still kind of like retaining some tickets for um for the general public, but basically it's gonna be a sellout. No matter what, it's gonna be a
Yeah.
full crowd, and it's shaping up to be a good.
Yeah, it's pretty much a sellout.
Okay, and so then after that, I think the last thing that we want to touch on is probably going to be that Cody Rhodes interview with Stone Cold in the Broken Skull Sessions on Peacock. I don't know
Yeah.
if you watched. Did you watch it?
No, I did not watch it.
Well,
I
I
didn't
got
have the
some.
network. I didn't have the Peacock on the
I don't know.
network.
You get Peacock. It has Office and everything. I mean, it's not just for WWE, but and it's fine. You could watch WWE and AEW. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just as toxic to be an AEW stan and not a.
No, I know
You know.
that. It's
Yeah.
just that I don't have the Peacock.
All right.
That's
Okay.
it.
So, but okay. So I got some quotes here,
Okay,
and
go ahead.
uh, here it says anyone. So this is Cody Rhodes talking about how he balanced booking himself and not ruffling feathers among talents in AEW. So he said, anyone I had issues with in terms of because I was their boss, there's not really any heat that exists. I always tried to give, and I always overly generous in my run. Had Dusty Rhodes been there were a few things he would have told me, but that would have been one for sure, because Arn was the one telling me on the side, "Hey man, get some for you." All right,
Right.
and and then he continued by saying, "I did everything I could possibly do diplomatically to approach it. A lot of it was trepidation based on the fact that I had seen that already happen to Dusty. Dusty was on top because he was over. He was not on top because it was the booker. Is there synergy? Sure, he was over. In the beginning, there are not many guys who have this connection with the fans. Why would we forget to go that? This is on me." So basically saying that he needed to get more for himself rather than giving, because he was overly generous in AEW, and sometimes that got him heat either way, So he was damned if he did it, and then if he didn't. You get what I'm saying? So basically, leaving AEW was necessary for him in his eyes, obviously, and in the eyes of people like Arn Anderson. What do you think about that?
It was great. It was pretty good. I get what Cody said. Like he did like gave everything he got. He did try to help the AEW roster, but and Cody should like taking the world title shot and made himself a world title opportunity instead of try to prevent himself from winning the title in AEW.
Well, yeah, I think he admitted that himself, that it was a mistake for doing that, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. So if you want to do the outro.
Oh yeah. Thank you everyone for AgostoAllElite podcast. We'll see y'all next Saturday, and I'll see y'all later. Goodbye, everyone.